inspire, empower. Grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch. No, real women don't. 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 Real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Good morning, ladies. Oh, I feel so groovy. I have had 2 days of extraordinary connections, and I've been filling myself with so much reading and so much inspiration from industry leaders that I am a little bit high off of the possibilities and the revelations, and just reflecting and looking at the growth of where I was and where I've gone to. And so I'm excited because 2020 is all about us making sure that people see us clearly. And I want to talk to you about the fears of jumping out there and doing something. I had a conversation with a client and a connection call, and a subject matter came up twice, and it had to do with not wanting to jump out there, especially when it involves collaborating with other entities or business owners and not knowing everything that you need to know and wanting to cross every T and dot every I. And I was just telling this client, I'm like, look, just prepare your end, do some research, look at some issues that could come up, know something about the people that you want to work with, so that when you present it, you are selling yourself and you present your offer in a manner that they want to collaborate with you. But more importantly than that, I was emphasizing to her that it's just about not being afraid and just jumping and showing and shining with all of what you have. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is that they'll say no flat out outright. But whatever it is that you haven't figured out, it's not like you're going to go in there and say, this is my offer. And they say, okay, great, we take it. And then you're like, what the hell did I get into? Usually there's some back and forth. There's some conversing. There's a level of exchange. And then you can say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't have that in the agreement. I didn't think about that. And well, if you brought that up, then what about this? And you can talk things out. You know, there are some things you literally are going to have to figure it out along the way. I am throwing my first live event. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know I could rock a live event. I've been presenting in church and participating in events since I was in high school, but still, you know, hosting an event is another beast on its own. Now, I sat down and I worked out the financials. I looked at how I was going to give, what I was going to give, the value that was placed on it, how many women I want there, you know, and things of that nature, what the cost point, what it was going to cost, how much of was going to come out of the budget to, you know, pay for the event space and stuff like that. But there's still so many things that I don't know, and they're going to happen in the process. And as I continue to go and grow and do this yearly, I'll get better. And honestly, even if I was working with a coach, you know, who does, you know, how to profit from, you know, events, yada, yada, whatever,
they still can't help me circumvent every single little thing in my niche and with my audience and the things that will come up. I'm going to figure it out as I go. But the other thing is the conversations were like, hey, I jumped out there, I did this, and I had people that tried to take over my product or take over my event, because this woman was basically telling me what happened with hers. I had them trying to sell other products that they weren't, allowed to sell from the stage and so on and so forth. And it was just really... it was really enlightening how we talked about things that happened. And I know when I did my first summit, two of the tackiest things that happened to me was one, I do live panel discussions after my summit, which means that all of the speakers make themselves available for an hour for Q&A with the audience. And one lady had her camera off the entire time until somebody was like, oh, I have a question for such and such. And then she unmuted herself and showed her camera. And in her mind, that probably wasn't a big deal. But I was thinking to myself, heifer, if you were on a stage for a panel discussion, you wouldn't go behind the curtain or, go somewhere and come back when someone had a question for you. You would sit there and you would wait, and then you would give your input or advice. And then I had another woman who was in the middle of moving, and instead of her finding an isolated space while the movers were doing their thing, she was kind of walking around and, answering questions while she was going. And so that means when I created my contract for my summits, it explicitly states that your camera must be on at all times, that you're in a noise-free distraction area. And if you did sign up to be an affiliate, you forfeited. If you show up late, if you leave early, why did I have to put that petty ass shit in my contracts? Because I see that obviously people will try you, because it's not even them trying you. It's more so the fact they don't have the same standards as you. But the point is you figure it out as you go. And so we do research, or we hire coaches, and we get help so that there are a lot of things that we need to have in place that we don't miss. But there's still going to be some things that you're going to learn as you're doing. And so the 2020 cannot be this year of I'm researching. Baby girl, if you've been researching for so long, you should be a damn library. You should be a set of encyclopedias your damn self in the subject matter, because you've already looked up enough stuff. And so my challenge for the ladies that are listening today, I want to know, what in the world are you holding off on doing, and what are you going to stop holding off on? And you know what? Go ahead and jump and do it on the fly. It's not really as on the fly as you would like to think that it is, because you've looked into it so deeply, but just fucking do it. You take 2 seconds to think about everything that matters to you, what could possibly go wrong, and then you just put things in place to, prevent them. But then you just got to go. You just got to do it. You've got to start building from somewhere. Because honestly, a lot of you, and if you listen to my episode on Wednesday where I was talking about, supporting other people day one, and stop trying to get on these platforms with these other big speakers because you weren't there in the building, and they're not going to the building phase, not in the building as a facility. You weren't there in the building phase. And so you're not going to get into that inner circle like that. And what a lot of you all don't realize is that you're the next. You don't see yourself as the next. I see myself as the next, whatever that is. Not necessarily the next Lisa Nichols or Oprah Winfrey, but I'm a high caliber woman with a very big vision, and I see myself as the next big thing. And so instead of trying to, get to Oprah to see if she'll put me on, no, I'm working to put myself on. Those other people, they may have platforms and you can pay to speak on their stages, or you could be in the midst of their events and you can, work your network and muscle or do whatever it is. But ultimately, the beauty is in building your own. And for those of you that have a big vision like myself, if you let other people in on the vision without fear, you're going to find that you have some raving fans, some radical people in your life that'll basically be like, you can Olivia Pope it. They're going to go with you over a cliff. So just make sure that you don't take them over a cliff, since you know that they're willing, to do that. And it's a beautiful feeling to know that when you get ready to launch something, that you're going to have the support that you need, the resources that you need, and you're not going to have to work as hard as you think. Like, for instance, my event, one of the women that's going to be at it, she's going to be the MC, and she was like, hey, I know you're going to be looking for venues. Now, mind you, in my mind, it was going to take a lot longer to find the venue. I looked into doing this last year and I halted because there were too many things that weren't going right. And for me, when I launch something, there are a lot of things that go right in the beginning to let me know that the timing is good. And then after that, all hell can break loose. But if all hell is breaking loose in the beginning, then I'm kind of like, something's not right about this. And for me and my walk, I know that God is trying to warn me not to be a part of it. And I had even locked in a facility and signed the contract. They had gave extraordinary customer service on the front end, but they never re-signed the contract, sent it back to me. They weren't responding to my emails. It was just a really tacky experience. But turn around, fast forward to now, here it is. I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to have, a VA research some places based on what I'm telling her I want and narrow it down. Then I'll visit the places and put in a contract. When I tell you, my girlfriend was like, listen, I went to this facility for this. You should check it out. And she knows me. The other point that a lot of us miss is that the people, when they're close to us and they've tapped into the vision, they know us. So if she thought for 2 seconds that this wouldn't go with my vibe, she would have never told me. Well, it just so happens that I went. I love the place. I love the customer service. And I went ahead and put my bid in. They sent me back a proposal and the rates were fucking fire. I couldn't believe it because the place is so gorgeous. I was like, oh my God. But that's what happens when you have people around you. I've already got somebody else connecting me with the makeup artist, with the photographer, and I don't have to do as much research and spend as much time doing little bitty nitpicky things. I could bond with people, connect with them, market, reach out to folks and invite them. And so building your own is really important. Jump, ladies. Just jump. Get out there and whatever it is that you want, do it without reservation. That's my advice for you today. And I would love for you to share, what's your big thing that you're going to jump on and just do it and learn as you go and be quick on the fly. I would love to hear that. In the meantime, in between time, if you're having these thoughts and ideas and you're feeling me and you're thinking to yourself, August, I should be more of a jumper, but I'm afraid. No freaking big deal. Come over to the Authentic Collective, whichever platform you're on. Listen, us ladies are over there where we're bonding, we're getting together, but you can always put questions up and say, hey, I'm struggling with such and such. What did you do when this came up for you? And then get advice and feedback from other women who've been where you're going and that have a creative spirit and that want to see a sister succeed. You want to see an entrepreneur become profitable. That's what we're about. Any tribe that's following me is always about the collective advancement of everyone. So that's it. I'm going to let y'all go. I love you. Click the link and join us, ladies. Until later, I'm out of here. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in